This video is sponsored by Sterling Insurance. It's time to install our skylight, aircon and Maxxfan.
Welcome back to Van Conversion 101, the video series where we show you how to convert a van from start to finish. In our last video, we went into great detail on how to create a layout for your van. We taped ours down onto the floor and made sure that it all worked.
And we also did some CAD modeling as well. So yeah, if you want to check that out, then there'll be a link on the screen and it will also be in the playlist of all of our Van Conversion 101 videos.
If this is the first video you're seeing, then up to this point, we've done a load of little exterior upgrades. We've painted all the trim pieces. We've added a roof rack, some stuff on the back like a ladder and a spare wheel holder.
In this video, we are going to be doing most of the things on the roof. So this includes putting in our skylight, adding a Maxxfan, and also, which is really exciting, putting in aircon as well, which is something we didn't have in our last van and we're super excited about for this one.
At pretty much the same time that we're doing all of this work, we're also going to be putting in our windows on either side of the van. We're probably going to do that in a separate video because...
Well, basically one of our windows arrived and one of them took a really long time to arrive, so we weren't able to do a video for it, which is something you'll probably get when you're doing a van conversion. If you know what your components are from the beginning, then order them early on because it takes a long time. Some of the stuff takes a long time to come. So these are the tools that you're going to need for this section of the build.
Taking a look back at our CAD model and the layout that we put together last time, you can see that the aircon unit and the Maxxfan are right at the front of the van. So that corresponds inside to kind of the seating area, which is where the aircon's going to be. And the Maxxfan is going to be inside the shower, so just to help ventilate that space. You can then see that we've got the skylight right at the back, which is over our bedroom area. It's a similar place to where we had it last time, and just with the two windows that we've got as well, it's going to provide a nice amount of natural light into the van.
And airflow as well.
Yeah.
So we can have, you know, our various windows open and there'll be enough that it creates a nice airflow through the van.
Yeah.
I guess with our current van, it's not as much of an issue because we're putting in an aircon unit, so that provides a bit more of an airflow anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good thing to think about.
You can see we've also got quite a large roof space in the middle, which is going to be taken up by our solar panels. We do need quite a hefty solar array this time around because we're going to be running aircon and also an electric oven. So we had to allocate a good amount of space for that, but we are also going to be using this as a roof deck as well. So we're getting an extra function out of it. Next up, I'm going to be installing this. This is our Maxxfan Dome. Essentially, this is just quite a simple 12-volt extractor fan. In general, I think we've got good airflow in the van design already, what with the skylight and the opening windows and the aircon unit, obviously, which has a fan mode, so that's all good. This will mainly be for when we're taking a shower, you want to get all of the steam out of the van, and when we're cooking as well. This is going to end up being very close to where the hobs are, so again, good for extracting all of that moisture. We went for a Maxxfan version this time around. You may have seen on our last van build, we had two 12-volt mushroom fans, which were a little bit smaller and cheap and generic, which we thought was a good idea at first, especially because we were on a budget, but they just didn't do anything. And they were also really, really loud and annoying, and we never wanted to turn them on anyway. So we went for something a little bit more expensive and established this time around. I'm hoping this will be quite an easy installation. I've had a quick flick through the installation guide, which obviously you should do before you're doing any of this. It will really just come down to cutting a hole in the roof, which is 16¼ inches, which is about 160 mil in diameter. We'll then need to put mastic tape and some more sealant/adhesive all around this flange here, sandwich it onto the roof, and then there are also screw holes on the outside so we can screw through, make sure that it's all sealed and well secured. I'm going to try and do this without talking too much and just put any notes on the screen if we run into any problems. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So just to give you an idea on positioning, this brown square on the floor here is where our shower is going to go. Now we don't really want to centralize it with this marking on the floor because you'll see the wall kind of curves in towards the top. What I'm going to do is try and centralize it in the portion of the shower roof. So that's going to be around here. So I'm going to mark that out on the inside first, and then go up on the roof and check that it's okay, and then we can cut the hole. So what I've done first of all is try to work out where to put this fan so that it's in the center of the shower ceiling when that's all done. So basically I've come up from this line here, which is where the outer wall of the shower is going to be, made a markup on the ceiling, and then gone halfway across. The idea is that this will end up being central on the ceiling. Now that won't be perfectly central when you think about the shower in the context of the floor plan, but I think it will look most sensible when you look up at the ceiling of the shower and you can see the fan in the center. Now the one thing I haven't quite worked out yet, so this is like the line where I'm comfortable basically putting the circle anywhere up and down here. I'm going to go up on the roof and kind of work out how far back this needs to come. Hopefully we won't have to cut out any of this structural beam. I don't think we will, just in the context of making sure that it's in between the two roof bars, which are roughly there and there. So I think we can put it right about here. But I'm going to go check up on the roof. I'll drill a hole so that I know where this is for context, and then the hole can basically come out anywhere here, up and down a little bit. We wanted to take a minute to thank our sponsor for the Van Conversion 101 video series, Sterling Insurance. Because what's the point of putting all this time and effort into making a pristine van design if you're not going to take it out adventuring when you're done?
One of the best things about Sterling is that they provide cover for a huge range of modified and self-converted vans. So whatever your project, they probably have a policy for you.
The other thing that's worked out perfectly for us is that Sterling offers cover for the duration of the conversion process too. This means you can take the van out for a drive to help you pick up a mountain of plywood, to make sure that your new drawers don't rattle,
or in our case, to get our van kitty accustomed to traveling with us. There are a ton of benefits to having van life cover with Sterling Insurance. You can get cover for 90 days in Europe or even longer, and they have optional extras like annual breakdown cover and protection for your camping gear.
We've been with Sterling for over 2 years now, and we can't recommend them enough. So if you're looking for an insurance policy for your van project, give them a call or get an online quote today.
All right, so we are about to install our our skylight, which is absolutely huge. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So the skylight that we've gone for is the Dometic midi heki, and the one that we had in our last van was actually the mini heki. So yeah, why have we decided to go for a bigger size this time? So yeah, the short answer is because we can actually afford it. We did decide to stay with the Dometic brand because we loved the way that it worked. We love the fact that it has a blind and a bug screen. It was really easy to use, really easy to open and close. But this time around, we wanted something a little bit bigger so that we could get a bit more light into the van and also perhaps access our roof deck from the inside too. That being said, we did really like our mini heki, and we'd probably recommend it if that kind of fits with your budget. The mini heki is also more of a standard size, so it's 400 by 400, which means you can get adapters for your roof, which makes it easy to install. For this one, the roof opening is 700 by 500, which obviously is slightly bigger, which is what we wanted. We love Dometic and we used quite a few of their products in our old van. But if you want a couple of different options, these are also some that you can get in the UK and we have heard great things about. This is the inner frame. We're not going to be needing this until we've actually done the ceiling inside the van, so I'm just going to put that to the side. The rest of the stuff here we will need. We're hoping that the installation process will be quite simple. The only issues that we might run into is the van's roof is a little bit curved, and also we will have to cut out a little bit of the support beam, but we'll show you that in a minute.
I'm up on the roof now. I've brought the skylight with me and I've just kind of been doing one last sanity check. The position looks fine, that there's no problem with putting it here just before we do an enormous hole in the van body again. The plan is that this whole area, you know, the skylight will be surrounded by the roof decking. So we'll need to leave a little bit of clearance for that, but there's obviously a good amount of space here between the two roof bars. So that's all fine. The hinges of the skylight obviously have to be on this side, just as an extra level of security to stop it from flying open when you're driving. I've also made sure to leave enough space in front for that little lip where we're going to have to do some mastic tape. That's eventually where the Pseudoflex bond is going to go as well. So what I'm going to do now is mark the cutout, and then we can tape, and I'll do one last check on the inside to make sure it's all good, and then we can start drilling holes and cutting through. what that area looks like on the inside of the van. As you can see, there's a nice big flat area which we're going to cut out the majority of. Now, unfortunately, we have gone a bit too big on the skylight. It does overlap this crossbeam slightly. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I thought we were going to have to remove the whole middle section of the crossbeam. It's not that bad. We're only going to cut it to about halfway so we can keep some of that strength. But yeah, basically I'm going to get up on the roof now and start cutting it. I will do the straight line down here up until this point, and then I'm going to have to come back inside and cut this with an angle grinder. The cutting process should be as simple as the one with the Maxxfan. So what I'm going to do is just check again that I've drawn the right shape, that all the dimensions are correct, that it's perfectly square. I'm then going to tape over the lines to ensure a nice smooth cut, and we're going to drill a hole to start our jigsaw cut, and we're going to cut the four sides of the rectangle with the jigsaw. A couple of quick fire tips. The first one, if you want to make sure that all of your angles are perfect right angles, what you can do is just measure your square or rectangle from corner to corner and make sure that the two dimensions match. So that diagonal is exactly 86 centimeters. And this one is also 86 centimeters. Another thing which you might have noticed is we have already put the tape all the way across where we're going to be doing the cut. Now, I just like to do this. I think it makes the cut a lot smoother when you're using a jigsaw, and it prevents any paint and metal shards from coming up while you're cutting. But you might see, particularly in the Dometic instructions, they recommend putting a layer of tape around the outside of the cut to help guide your jigsaw. So we're going to do that as well.
So we've also put... So what I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted by the box falling off the roof is that we've made a box to catch all of the crap that comes down, sorry. The crap that comes down when we cut the hole.
And as you can see, we've done another marvellous job.
It's all very makeshift.
It's all very makeshift. So you can see we've done most of the cut, and we've got to this point here where we're coming through this support beam. So we're going to have to cut this with an angle grinder. I'm not going to cut exactly on this line. I'm going to leave about 2 centimeters on the outside. That'll leave room for the wooden frame that we're going to need to put around this whole thing. So just to give you a bit of an update, Mira has done all of the mastic taping, so we've got a nice level surface on the roof. I have built the frame that's going to go underneath this skylight. So as you can see, that's going to sit just underneath the hole like that. And then we've got all of these little brackets, which are going to clamp between the frame and the skylight, sandwiching it together, and hopefully making it watertight. What I'm going to do now, it is getting dark. Oh my god, and there you go, my lights have gone off. I'm going to go up on the roof, put the sealant on, drop the skylight through the hole, and then I'll come back in to put the brackets on, and hopefully we can get this done quite quickly. Can't see me very well in this video, but I'm just going to go around the edge of this skylight and put in a nice big bead of our trusty Sudolflex 40FC sealant and adhesive, and then we're going to drop it through the hole. I'm just going to show you what these brackets look like on the inside. So it's got these two guides here, which leads up into this section. You've got one central screw hole going up to connect it to the skylight, and then two smaller holes down here, which you can use to screw it into your wooden frame. So again, as you tighten this screw now, it's kind of pushing the frame up against the roof of the van, sandwiching the skylight, and making sure that all of the mastic tape and the sealant get squashed together So hopefully this will be watertight. I'm just going to go through and do the other ones now. You can see I've put a few in just to keep it in place. Oh, where's the other one? There you go. So yeah, I'm going to put those on, go up and check the seal, wipe away any excess sealant, and pray that it's waterproof.
This is us installing our aircon unit. It's the Velit 2000R, which is a 12-volt DC air conditioner. We're doing a full separate video on this installation process and the unit itself. So why we picked it, some of the pros and cons of aircon in a van. This is a brief clip of that process, but yeah, a full video is going to be coming out about that. So we filmed a whole ending video for this, but for some reason it was corrupted, which is really annoying. So we're going to do it again. So we've got our skylight in, we've got our aircon and the fan next to it. We're really happy with how it turned out. I think most of it was pretty easy as well, which is a surprising thing to say because...
Yeah. That never usually happens with us. Now that we've got all of those bits through the roof, we've got a few jobs coming up next, including getting our roof deck sorted, getting our solar panels up. But I think in our next video, we're going to be tackling the windows. So we've got one window on the sliding door and another one on the driver's side, which is going to be right over our kitchen.
And like in between that, there will probably be some videos on electrics, I guess, as well.
Yeah, we're ordering our electrical system now, so we can start to talk about how we designed that, all of the components that you need, how to put one together for yourself as well. But I want to spend a bit more time on those, so we'll see.
Make sure to like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when we release new videos.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next video.
Yeah, bye.